Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Mentoring Minute with Dan Comeau. We'll be right back with Dan, but first, let's hear from our podcast sponsors. We want to thank our newest sponsor, Final Forms, the industry leader in athlete registration. But you need to know this: Final Forms is more than registration. Final Forms is a team, it's technology, and it's a service that serves schools with compliance, communication, and risk management solutions. Final Forms also helps your stakeholders with mobile accessibility, reminders for parents about policies, physicals, and forms for athletes, along with team communication, attendance, and certification management for coaches. For ADs, Final Forms helps with eligibility, rosters, and all kinds of reports. It's time you talk with a team that's walked in your shoes. Take the next steps to find out what Final Forms can do for you. Go to finalforms.com/Jake for more information. Once again, that's finalforms.com/Jake to get started using Final Forms in your athletic department. They really are a great, great program. We also want to thank Violet Defense. Violet Defense is dedicated to protecting our world from germs by bringing the power of UV disinfection to everyday spaces. Their patented technology enables them to harness the power of the sun to incorporate ultraviolet light into products and environments like never before. Whether you're ready to implement existing products, or if you'd like to explore researching and developing a custom deployment of their technology for your school, Violet Defense has the solutions and experience you need. Go to violetdefense.com for more information about this great product. We also want to thank Sideline Interactive for their support. You know, it's becoming harder and harder to fund an athletic department, but Sideline Interactive's indoor scoring tables and video boards can generate $10,000 or more every year, while also creating excitement in the gym and the ultimate game day experience for your student athletes. Go to sidelineinteractive.com or call 832-786-0302 to schedule a live web demo and see their tables and boards in action. You can also email them at sales@sidelineinteractive.com for more information. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. We also want to thank Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. You know, they are on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. They provide a variety of interactive touchscreen video consoles, along with an extensive library of templates to make it easier than ever to recognize the athletic achievements of your students, both past and present. For ideas on how to showcase your school's diverse history, along with your proudest moments, go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Or to learn more and get started with your own digital Wall of Fame tribute, call them at 614-981-3589, or you can email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. That's sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to thank Huddle. Remember, at Huddle, we power sports. Over 180,000 teams, including some of the best in the world, use Huddle to elevate the performance of their teams with video and analytics. Huddle is the complete performance platform. They have online tools, mobile and desktop apps, smart cameras like the Huddle Focus. Of course, there's analytics and a whole lot more. Huddle's also built for every level of play, from club and youth teams all the way through high schools and colleges. And even the pros use Huddle to help their teams play better. You're in pretty good company with over 6 million users, including your student athletes, a lot of their parents, and the coaches of the college teams you're trying to get to recruit your kids. If you want to find out more about what Huddle can do for you and how your school can become a Huddle school, go to huddle.com and talk to their professionals. Remember, at Huddle, we power sports. We also want to thank Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack sponsor the AD Toolbox segment of our regular podcast. And they are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your entire program. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack also gives the 95% of the parents and the student athletes who really love your program a voice, and helps them demonstrate the importance that a positive athletic experience has for them. Go to athleticsurveys.com and check out their testimonials, and then give them a call at 1-800-738-6466, or you can email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you're really missing out. Go to Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack and let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. And we want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. You can find out more about what Hometown Ticketing can do for you and your program by going to hometownticketing.com. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Mentoring Minute on the Educational AD Podcast. Longtime athletic director Dan Comeau, CMAA here in Florida, and also very active at the national level, shares his wisdom with the Mentoring Minute. This is episode number 23 on March 15th. Dan, what do you have for us today?
Well, good morning, Jake. Today, I'd like to talk about awards and record keeping. You know, 2 seasons are over already for this school year. We're into the spring, and we only have 3 months left. And award banquets and new records are set by the schools. And I want to talk about the importance of keeping accurate records for the not just for the students, but for the morale and the school culture that they face. You know, it helps to know with the athletic department, excuse me, and the athletes that they want to chase their dreams. And, you know, it's not all about winning and losing at the high school level. We're teaching life lessons. One of the life lessons is goal setting. And, you know, you have brothers and sisters that want to chase their siblings' records and beat them or other records. If it's a long time school, hey, I want to beat my uncle's record in basketball or whatever. And it teaches them, encourage them for goal setting and things that is going to go through life. So after the break, I want to talk about how to control those records, how to keep them. You know, I'm a Neanderthal. I did everything on paper and folders, but there's a way to do it electronically too. And we'll talk about the importance of those record keeping issues, not only for athletic records for the teams, but for individuals. And we'll talk about that after the break.
Yeah, again, another great topic. I just had a flashback to my high school, you know, from 100 years ago, back in the 70s. I remember that the track and field records, I was a football and a track guy, but that was the only record board that I even remember. And it was really just maybe a 2 foot by 2 foot plaque, an old school plaque that had the various track events. And none of the other sports had record boards or anything like that. And nowadays, there are just so many really cool ways for an AD to display those records, those accomplishments. And as you talked about, helping the next generations, you know, see those and set their goals. Very cool. I'm excited to hear what you got. For our listeners, this is the Mentoring Minute. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more wisdom from Dan Comeau. Please stay with us. We want to thank Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack for their support of the podcast and the Athletic Director Toolbox segment. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your entire athletic program. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack also connects you with the 95% of the parents and the student athletes who really love your program, and it gives them a voice to help demonstrate the importance that a positive athletic experience has for them. Go to athleticsurveys.com and check out their testimonials, and then give them a call at 1-800-738-6466, 6466, or you can email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you're really missing out. Talk to the folks at Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack and let them show you how to take your athletic program from good to great. We're back with Dan Comeau and the Mentoring Minute. Dan, what are some things that ADs can do in this area of rewards or awards and records?
Well, you know, Jake, I was so fortunate to be able to open a school from day one. So I had no records to deal with. And I was able to start that program on my own. And unfortunately, you know, ADs change and schools have been there forever. But the way I tried to approach this was we talked, myself and the coaches, what's important to you, what's important to the school, what records do we want to keep and follow as the school progresses. And we talked about that. And also, you know, if you're a school that's been there forever, you can utilize your newspapers. They have records and they go way back. So you can kind of filter that through. You know, and like I said before, I'm a Neanderthal. I kept paper records. And what I did was I had a file cabinet, and I had a file cabinet with every sport. And anything that had to do with that sport, whether it came from the Florida High School Athletic Association, parents, coaches, players, I kept in that file. So that file stays with us. And one of the pieces of paper in that file was the team record and individual records. And we would take that paper and put it into the next year's file. So that would follow that sport as you went along. My secretary reminded me that computers have been invented and we can do this electronically. So what we did was we put that together, and it ensures accuracy at the end of the year for your awards banquets. And we're going to talk about that later on. And it emphasizes when you have your awards at the end of the season, emphasize the academic excellence in your athletes, because not only are they excellent in the athletic field in what they do in the award they're getting, but also they have been academically excellent to stay on that team. So you want to be able to ensure that recognition and the importance of the records and the record keeping for the teams as well as the individual. When you have a class reunion 25 years from now, you can bring up that information and they check with the AD. Yeah, I got what you did 25 years ago. And we can talk about that at the reunion. It's a real morale booster. School records, as you go on, the press, they do nostalgic looks to the past. They may do something on a decade. They may want to get some information on some of your players. I know when I was at New Smyrna Beach High School, Wes Chandler, who played for the Chargers way back in the day, still active in national football. And he was recognized not long ago for his academic and athletic abilities at New Smyrna Beach High School, and went on to be a Florida Gator. And, you know, we're looking at him being in the Hall of Fame in Florida. And because of, you know, those records were kept. And teams and individual comparisons as the years go on, it's a nostalgic look. It helps with the culture of the school, and it helps with the morale of the sports teams and the individuals that are looking to excel in certain things. So that's all I have for today, Jake. I know that's a topic that it's a pain to keep records and keep that accurate, but in the long run, it's worth it for the school and it's worth it for the athletes.
Oh, no, absolutely. Just one more way to brand your school. It's another way to promote your student athletes and your program. And I love what you mentioned about, you know, recognizing, you know, the scholar athletes from academics as well. Great stuff.
And one more thing, I'm looking at your podcast, and I'm thinking, you know, there are schools like Central High School here in St. Lucie County. They've been here forever. That was the original school, and they have so many athletes that go so far back. Robert Weathers, for example, graduated from there. It was an undefeated team, and he played in the with the New England Patriots in one of the Super Bowls. And those things are getting pushed in the back because it goes back so far. And I'm looking at over your left shoulder, and I see Wall of Fame, another way of electronically acknowledging athletes through technology, not just right on the wall, but you know, that is technology that is great, and people can just push a button and go back as far as they want.
No, I appreciate you giving them a shout out there. We use Wall of Fame for our FIAAA organization for our Hall of Fame, as you know, which, by the way, Dan Comeau was going into that FIAAA Hall of Fame this coming spring. But those devices, the Wall of Fame, Hall of Fames and school records are just so very cool. They're easy to use, and it sort of removes that dusty scrapbook and file cabinet that never gets opened. Now that record board or those record boards and the Hall of Fames are right there in your gym lobby or wherever you put it. Please, get in touch with the good folks at Vital Signs Wall of Fame and see what they can do for you. Thanks for that extra little shout out. Dan, as always, if one of our ED's listeners wants to reach out and pick your brain a little bit more, how do they get in touch with you?
They can contact me at my email, dcomeau19@comcast.net.
Well, always great to hear from you. You always have such great information. For our listeners, remember the Zoom recordings of all of our interviews are uploaded to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel, so you can watch as well as listen. We appreciate you tuning in today. Come back again next Tuesday for another episode of the Mentoring Minute, and just about every day for the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening today. And we want to thank Hometown Ticketing for their support. Hometown Ticketing is the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. You can find out more about what Hometown Ticketing can do for you and your program by going to hometownticketing.com. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. And we also want to give another shout out to our other sponsors, Sideline Interactive, Violet Defense, Huddle, and Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack, along with Wall of Fame and Final Forms. Thanks for your support. And again, thanks for everyone listening to the Educational AD Podcast and the Mentoring Minute.